to Culture on I-24 News. I'm Agad Grober, and today a very interesting show. We'll talk in depth about the recently announced nominations for the Ophir, the Israeli Academy Awards, and take a look at some interesting TV shows. Earlier today, the nominees for the Ophir, the Israeli Academy Awards, were announced in Tel Aviv. With me in the studio is film critic Benjamin Tobias to talk about the nominees, their chances, and this passing year in Israeli cinema. Thanks for coming in, Benjamin.
Thanks for inviting me.
So, what does the roster look like this year? What do you think?
Well, first of all, let me say it wasn't a very strong year for Israeli cinema. This is coming from last year, where we have the Battle of the Titans for Israeli cinema, which was Get versus Zero Motivation and other great movies done all in one year. This year, I think it's also a bit an aftershock of last year's war. There were fewer films or fewer good films, let's say, in the roster, and a lot of films decided not to participate in the competition. So we have a selection of 5 films. I have seen 4 of them. They are very nice films. I would say that none of them equals any of the films that were nominated last year. So I am starting as a critic with the bad news, as always.
Okay, but at least I'm sure there are still a few.
Yeah, there are a few gems out there. There are a few movies that should be seen. Only one of them was seen by the wide public and had a great success. It's known as a kind word, so I guess
it's a general problem with the Ophirs, right? That every time when they're announced, people. I mean, you've seen them all. You're a member of the Academy, but the general public has not seen these films.
Yeah, I'm not a member of the Academy, but still I'm seeing them in film festivals or by friends. But still, yeah, it's a competition.
I'll have a talk with the Academy about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not if I can help it, but it's a competition. We call it an industrial competition in the sense that it stays like a thing that between 600, 700 members of the Academy, which watch these films between May and June in small screenings, and they talk about these films and which film is good. But the greater public doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
But so again, in the Oscars also, who votes are the 6,000 members, but the greater public is a part of the buzz.
Exactly. I mean, part of the discussion.
Yeah, part of the discussion. I mean,
need.
so they can discuss this year. They can discuss what a better movie, Birdman or Boyhood, or if they prefer The Artist or Hugo, etc. So it influences. Here, it remains like a secret. And again, this year, I think it's a great example. Only one film was seen by the public. I think it's to put it bluntly, a disgrace, because we should talk about cinema, and not talk about, oh, there is a great film coming in 3-4 months, half a year later. It's too bad. It's a shame.
All right, but that's why we have you, and we can get to talk about the films. Let's begin with the best film category, of course. So I think the front runner, if we can say so.
Yeah, in terms of numbers, the front runner is a kind word. Or, as I said, the only film seen by Shemi Zarchin is a known director in Israel, a bit less known outside of Israel, but each of his films were nominated for the best film and best director. So he has a track record. It's a melodrama about 3 brothers or 2 brothers and a sister going to France to find their father. It's a very, let's say, classic Israeli movie, moving family drama about origins and about finding your family and finding your past and admitting as the part of your past. I think it struck a chord. It has a lot of known Israeli actors like Sasson Gabay, and of course in the lead you have there Rotem Zisman Cohen and Roy Asaf, which are the young generation. So as you see, this is, let's say, the best that Israeli cinema can show.
Right. And it also has the most nominations, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 12 nominations, which is a pretty impressive number.
Yeah, 12 nominations. It doesn't mean it will win, because we had surprises in the Ophir. The Ophir can be surprising, like last year, but still, we are talking about the front runner, and we'll see.
Let's keep going. Wounded Land.
Yeah, so this is
next on the list.
So yes, this is the main competition. This is a movie, let's say, a sort of between crime and war melodrama. Again, it happens in Haifa in the 24 hours after a suicide bombing.
Yep.
And it's made by an Israeli director also very known in Israel, Erez Tadmor. It might be his year. By the way, the same actor is also in this movie and in The Kind Words. He's nominated for both. We will talk about him. But again, this shows you a bit that this is, let's say, the more political, more
connected to the situation.
Yeah. Again, if the situation, I will be a cynic, but if the security situation in Israel this next 2 months but now gets worse, so this might give him some level. Like people don't remember, but Slumdog Millionaire won 2 months after the bombings in Bombay it had an effect because people think so if God forbid the situation becomes worse, it's better for the movie.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say it, but
Haifa.
Let's not be too specific, I hope,
All right, let's keep going. Afterthought, or in its...
it's a movie that has a few names. It's the only movie that has been in Cannes Film Festival from the 5. I think it's a great movie. It's a movie, let's say a more abstract movie. It's about, I will tell you the premise, it already sounds absurd. It's about one guy going down the stairs of Haifa and the other guy going up, and they meet in the middle. So it's a sort of a very absurdist movie, also very influenced by French New Wave. And to tell you the truth, it's quite a surprise that we see it in this competition, because it's not the kind of movies that gets normally awards in mainstream competition, not also in the Oscars or the César. It's a more abstract movie, very influenced by Godard, Antonioni, by a very young director named Elad Keidan in its first movie. So again, from the 5 movies, this is my favorite. It has 0 chances of winning. I mean, its director is not nominated, only the movie, so this is like
that's rare, but
normally you have one, but this is the one that what we call the also ran. It's too bad, but I urge all audiences to see it. This is a very special gem.
And you can either find it with the name Afterthought or Staircases. We'll see how it's being sold to the public. Baba June is next on the list.
Yeah, so Baba June is the one I didn't see. It's again a family melodrama, from what I understand. It's about a father and a son that are immigrants in Israel from Iran. So again, Israeli cinema loves dealing with
people out of place.
Yeah, people out of place, immigrants. It's an immigrant country. We saw this kind of issues also in The Kind Words. We had also a movie a few years ago that was called Mad Land, a bit about. So it's a theme again.
Family, from a long line of
family melodramas are the genre for the Ophir. That's clear.
Paper Wedding is the last one.
Paper Wedding, again, a family melodrama about a mother and a daughter, but a bit different. This is a small, let's say, a small drama. It's also in a very beautiful setting in the Israeli desert, in Mitzpe Ramon, a relationship between a mother and a handicapped daughter. A very small movie. It reminds a bit of movies of Mike Lee, if you want, small kitchen sink, what we call films. But it has also style. So also, it's a nice little movie. Again, it has zero chances of winning, but it's nice that it got the attention because it's a very nice movie to see.
All right. So those are the 5 leading movies in the best film category. Very interesting ones. We should definitely watch them. More in general, are there any films that you are surprised didn't make the cut?
Well, in the competition, no. But of course, there is the question about movies that didn't subscribe to the competition. And there are 2 main movies everybody talks about. There is A Tale of Love and Darkness by Natalie Portman, and there is Rabin, The Last Day of Amos Gitai. Now, this is, let's say, a trend that is not so good for Israeli cinemas. Many movies prefer not to subscribe even to the competition.
Why is that?
Because these are movies, again, in the case of Portman, which is, of course, a special case since she's Israeli-American, she didn't want, let's say, to underrate maybe the movies, but by presenting it as an Israeli movie. But this also said that maybe she doesn't trust the Academy, because she doesn't want the movie to leak. So the movie wasn't shown. So this is, of course, a special case. And another reason is that the Academy has an absurd law laws that only Israeli people can be nominated.
Right,
You don't have
Israeli
it.
citizenship.
Yeah. So I don't know if Portman has a citizenship, but everyone else in the movie
isn't nominated, so they couldn't.
They couldn't be nominated. So it's like submitting your movie to lose. And this is something. And Gitai has a love-hate, or let's say a hate-hate relationship with the Israeli Academy. So
Israeli audiences in general.
Although I have high
some
hopes.
people that are present though is for instance Ro'i Asaf that you mentioned. He's nominated no less than 3 times, twice as the main actor,
leading actor against himself. We'll see which Ro'i Asaf will win.
Who is Ro'i Asaf?
So the question, who is Ro'i Asaf? It's like in Israel we had the joke, let's say in the 90s, that every movie has Moshe Ivgi. By the way, Moshe Ivgi is the last person nominated 3 times in 1 year, so you can say that Ro'i Asaf is the new Moshe Ivgi. He's a young actor, relatively young actor, that loves cinema. I mean, he does mainly cinema, he almost doesn't do not publicity, and you see him in a lot of movies now. You must remember that Israel is a very small industry at the end. Everybody works.
We also see that in the editing category, where 5 films, only 3 nominees.
Yeah, because again, a very small industry at the end. You have and for the main nominee, Einat Zalchin, is the wife of Shemi Zalchin, the director of The Kind Word. So as you see, it's like
a family business.
A family business, and she edits, let's say, half of the films.
Features.
The feature films here in Israel. So this is what happens. But again, it's also in the Oscar. You can say each year John Williams in the music department is nominated, or Emmanuel Lubetsky each year the cinematographer. So you have trades in the cinema which are very, very specific.
Well, still, we're able to produce some good films. It'll be interesting to see who wins and how far they can go with it. Benjamin, thanks so much.
Thanks for inviting me.
Now, in a moment, we'll hear about the 2nd season of BoJack Horseman. Very exciting. But first, here's our cultural recommendation for today.
Kappa in color is on display in Budapest. Hungarian photojournalist Robert Kappa is better known for his iconic photos in black and white, but he was also a big fan of color. This is a tribute to this little-known side of the photographer right at the Kappa Center in Budapest. A Jew from Budapest, Andre Friedman traveled the world throughout his career and was behind many historical photographs, most of them in black and white. Yet Kappa fought his entire career for color, one technique he employed in its early stages, but at the time, it still wasn't welcomed in the newsrooms. Today, this exhibition in his hometown makes color the theme.
Yaron Tenbrink is already sitting right here in the studio to talk to us about some good TV.
Amazing TV.
Amazing TV. I gotta say, BoJack Horseman, everybody loves it. I'm not sure I get it. You have to explain that.
It's the most wonderful thing. It's,
oh, now I get it.
No, you know, it's this really, truly bizarre series. I mean, we've had, during the last 20 years, many, many animation series that were wacky, zany, weird, crazy, full of amazing moments of, quoting the pop culture that we live in. This is kind of similar, only it's everything and more. I mean, it's all that and more. It's this series, it's created by Raphael Bob Waxberg. He's a 30-year-old. It's his first real big thing on TV.
Don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. That's really annoying. Some amazing voice artists such as Will Arnett. He's playing BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman is a horse who's also a man.
Don't say. You know, let's watch a clip.
Okay, that would explain it best.
All right.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
You're a millionaire movie star, acting in your dream movie.
In this scene, Secretariat's at his lowest. It's a dark moment.
You got it.
Action!
What are you doing here? Did we get it? I can tell by your face that we didn't get it. What was it?
Instant
So he's a former TV star. He had a sitcom in the 90s, very successful one, and he's trying to stage a comeback. He's writing a book, a memoir of his former success. It's the most vicious critique of Hollywood I've ever seen in a movie or TV. It's super intelligent, it's heartfelt, it's actually sometimes really depressing.
That's actually what I hear most about it, that it's funny and all, but it has heart and it can really get to you.
It's really sensitive. I mean, this character who's kind of rude and vulgar manages to somehow, they build it so well that it manages to really touch you. You feel it. You feel him. You feel for him, and it's just brilliant writing and even more brilliant animation. And I'm a big fan of animation, but this is something special because this is not just funny, not just crazy. It's not like South Park or Family Guy just trying to make contemporary jokes.
I have a question. Do you think that was made possible because it's on Netflix?
Of course.
Do you think that it's just good writing that anywhere could...
Netflix is looking for edgy content that can't appear anywhere else. This is too strange even for HBO.
Right.
This is too strange for Comedy Central. It's too strange. It's just too strange because you can't.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing because you can't even decide whether the animals are animals or you. What's going on?
We'll watch and decide. Thanks, Yaron.
Do it.
Thank you at home for watching us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another show, so please join us again.